Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Irina Bakley and I'm a licensed relationship therapist in the states of Virginia and North Carolina. And I mostly now provide virtual couples and individual sessions to people who are struggling in relationships, either with themselves or with their loved ones, and they are trying to reconnect, trying to find a deeper, more meaningful sense of themselves and their relationship that they might have lost due to life that happens to the best of us. So today we are continuing talking about marriage retreats in North Carolina. And I've started getting some questions, some more questions about them. And so I'm going to create another series of videos to try to briefly explain and answer those questions. So today in particular, I'm answering a question which is, can we do a marriage retreat in North Carolina if we are not in crisis? So let's talk about crisis. And first of all, actually, let me just do a brief synopsis of what is a marriage retreat and why is it something that you can, you should or you can or you might consider for your marriage. A marriage retreat, the way I do, is basically a day to yourselves where you disconnect from the external stimuli, you leave your phones, you find childcare for your children, you find a neutral place, hopefully where you can stay, and that doesn't have a baggage. Like it's not your house where you always fight. If you can, if you would like to do that, and you spend time connecting to yourself, connecting to your most important person, your partner, your spouse, your significant other, and trying to learn your patterns, trying to understand what's happening for you on a deeper level. We all understand the behaviors and the triggers, and when he does X, that triggers me. When she does Z, that triggers me. But so it's all about me a lot of times, and we don't really understand how our behaviors and what's underneath the behaviors really impact our partner's heart and what's really happening for us that we react this way, right? Um, Beyond just feeling angry and activated and frustrated and resentful and all that, like what's really happening in our heart. And a lot of times it's feeling sadness, it's feeling alone, it's feeling hurt, it's feeling betrayed that we haven't been able to articulate and address in a long time. So our partners have no idea that we feel this way, and that's where the reaction is coming from. Anyway, so that's the marriage retreat. It's something. We're spending 7 hours together in one day. We go through a series of beautiful, scientifically proven experiential exercises where we take you deeper and deeper and deeper, and then we basically do 2.5 months of therapy in one day. That really jumpstarts the marriage and the relationship, and it is not a substitute to traditional weekly couples therapy sessions. It is a good way to start their work and then go to weekly therapy sessions, or sometimes couples start weekly and then they realize they need a really deep dive to get the momentum going. So we would do a couple weeks or couple months of traditional weekly couples therapy, then we will do the intensive, and then we will kind of continue doing weekly therapy sessions to continue healing, to continue integrating, to continue learning kind of from these experiences. So can we do a marriage retreat if we are not in crisis? The answer is that you absolutely can and you absolutely should. Why? Because crisis, it means that there are a lot of behaviors and there are a lot of aggressive or high energy or charged behaviors and escalations that we first that that we need to address first before even working on primary cycle and what's happening underneath. So if you don't have crisis, if no one is leaving the relationship, if you are not sleeping in different rooms for years and fighting and feel like you're in a war zone all the time, wearing your boxing gloves on at all times, it's a perfect opportunity for us to actually stay in this slow down place where we can do deep work faster. It's not to say that when you're in crisis you shouldn't go and do the marriage retreat in North Carolina. It's still a beautiful option. But if you're not in crisis, or if you're not really, really, really miserable and really, really, really struggling, and just you're struggling a little bit, actually you will make a lot more progress a lot faster, generally speaking, than when there is escalation and when there is a lot of charge in the room because of all the history. And unfortunately, most couples will not come to couples counseling unless they feel absolutely miserable and they're on edge of something, either fighting or leaving each other or separation or heartbreak or a breakdown or something, because we get very complacent. Most of us get very complacent when we are, when things are okay, even when things are kind of mediocre going between us, and we really need a rock bottom experience so that our ego kind of quiets down, right? And there's an opening for deeper work and for newer information to come and replace all that old drama. And that usually requires a bad experience that will shake us up, right? So yes, you should go and consider marriage retreat in North Carolina if you're not in crisis. And yes, you also should consider it even when you're in crisis, unless there is active ongoing affair, active ongoing abuse, or active ongoing addiction. If those three things are not present, then either marriage counseling, weekly sessions, or marriage retreat in North Carolina are two beautiful options for you. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate you guys being here, letting me in your ears, learning, taking the risks, taking the time, and trying to optimize yourselves and optimize your marriage. If you have any questions, feel free to go to my website, www.irinabakleycounselingllc.com, and schedule your free phone 15-minute consultation with me, where I would be happy to speak with you and to see how I can help you to get the relationship you've dreamed about and you deserve. Thanks, guys. See you next time.